Hey everyone! Today we're going to talk about something really important, building a blueprint for an accounting firm that's not just surviving, but is actually ready for the future. One that's resilient and way more efficient. If you've ever felt like your team is just completely stretched to the max, then you're definitely going to want to stick around for this.
So let me ask you something, right off the bat. Does it ever feel like your team is just working harder and harder, putting in more hours, but you're not really getting ahead? You're just treading water? If that hits home, you are absolutely in the right place.
So why does it feel like you're on a treadmill that you can't get off of? Well, the truth is, the traditional way we've thought about growing an accounting firm, it's broken. It just doesn't work anymore. Let's dig into exactly why that is.
And look, it's not just one thing, right? It's like this perfect storm of challenges. You've got the tax laws that change like every 5 minutes. Audits are getting insanely complex. Don't even get me started on the headaches of multi-state payroll. And on top of all that, when you hit your busiest season, your team has literally zero bandwidth left. Simply trying to hire your way out of this problem just isn't going to cut it anymore.
Okay, so that's the bad news, but here's the good news. There's a much smarter way to grow. Let's talk about a new strategy, one that's all about efficiency and leverage, not just adding more headcount.
And that core idea? It's called strategic outsourcing. Now, this isn't just about farming out work to the lowest bidder. No. This is a deliberate, strategic move to bring in outside experts for those core, foundational tasks. We're talking tax prep, audit support, payroll, so that your amazing internal team can finally be freed up to focus on the really high-value stuff like advising clients and building those crucial relationships. I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The whole goal is to stop thinking about building a bigger team and start thinking about building a smarter one. It's all about working smarter, not just piling on more hours.
All right, so that all sounds good in theory, but what does it actually look like day to day? Let's break down how this strategy works across the three main pillars of pretty much any accounting firm.
First up, tax. Oh man, we all know tax season. It's this high-volume, high-stakes pressure cooker where one little mistake can be a huge deal, and you have to be efficient, especially when things get crazy.
Here's where outsourcing is a total game changer. First, you lock in that accuracy and consistency, which is everything. Second, when new tax laws drop, you can absorb those changes instantly without having to retrain your whole team. And third, and this is huge, you free up your senior accountants from the grind of data entry so they can focus on review and giving strategic advice. That's where they add the most value.
Okay, next up, audit. You know the drill. Audits are getting more complex and clients want them done faster than ever. So the big question is, how do you scale up to meet that demand without letting quality slip?
Well, this is how. You get instant access to qualified pros who live and breathe U.S. auditing standards. That lets you speed up the whole documentation and testing process, which is a massive win. And you can think of these experts as a flexible extension of your own team. You can scale them up or down depending on your workload. It's capacity on demand.
And finally, we've got payroll. With payroll, there is absolutely zero margin for error. It's one of those things that has to be perfect every single time. It's totally unforgiving.
By outsourcing payroll, you can basically guarantee that processing is timely and accurate. Even if you're dealing with clients in a dozen different states, you know you're always up to date on all the crazy regulations. And you lift that huge administrative weight off your team's shoulders so they can focus on more important things. So we've looked at tax, audit, and payroll separately. But now let's zoom out and look at the big picture. Because when you start applying this strategy across the board, well, that's when some really powerful stuff starts to happen. You're not just fixing one department, you're transforming the whole firm.
And this slide, wow, it just says it all, doesn't it? The before picture, your team is totally buried under a mountain of repetitive, high-volume work. They're overloaded. But then look at the after. That same team is now elevated. They're focusing their brainpower on strategic advice and building deeper relationships with clients. That's where the real value is.
And it all boils down to these 4 pillars. You get true scalability, so you can grow without going on a hiring spree. You get rock-solid compliance. You get a massive boost in efficiency. And maybe most importantly, you get focus. You empower your people to do the work that actually matters most.
Now I know what you're probably thinking, because it's a super important question. Okay, this all sounds great, but what about my client's data? Is it really secure?
And the answer is a resounding yes. Any reputable partner operates under the strictest confidentiality and data protection rules. I mean, for them, security is everything. It's completely non-negotiable and a standard part of how they do business.
Okay,
So that's security. But what about the clients? Are they going to know you're outsourcing work? Is it going to feel weird for them?
Nope, not at all. As far as your clients are concerned, your firm is, and always will be, their main point of contact. You can think of the outsourced teams as your secret weapon. They're the execution engine working seamlessly behind the scenes, all under your brand.
So when you put all of these pieces together, what you have isn't just a new tactic. It's a fundamental blueprint for building a firm that's set up for long-term success. And the best part is, you don't have to do it all at once. A lot of firms just dip their toe in the water first, maybe with tax prep or payroll, and then build from there.
This quote just brings it all home. This isn't just a passing trend. It really is the blueprint for building a modern, resilient accounting firm that is genuinely ready for whatever comes next.
So, I'll leave you with this one last question to think about. Take a really honest look at your firm, at your team's workload, at your plans for the future. Is your firm still built on a model from the past, or is it truly ready to step into the future?